All right, so we're back at it again. I just pulled the tractor out. I watched some YouTube videos. Some guys pulling, he's pulling rocks, I think, or something. And there was a comment about using some mechanical advantage. So I did like the guy that was pulling rocks and went to Harbor Freight and picked up their cheapest snatch block here. It's supposed to be rated for 20,000 pounds. And then they also have a 65-foot cable that's rated at 12,000 pounds. So we got that rigged up. I'm not sure. I know there's some angle stuff going on here. I know it says something to do with the amount of angle you have from your, like your stationary, your anchor, and what you're pulling with. I think it changes. I don't have a lot of space here. So I was trying to keep it a tighter V. I think a tighter V gives you more leverage, and the way this is set up, it should be close to double if you have everything right, minus I think 10% that you lose in the pulley or something like that. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't go way in depth, so I just tugged on this a little bit just to kind of see where we're at. This is what I did at this end because there was no hook on here. I'm pretty sure those aren't the right type of cable clamps. They should be forged, and those are malleable. So I don't know if that's even going to work. That might just slip through. It should be the right way because there was something about saddling a dead horse or something. You want to make sure you got the saddle on the live part of the wire. So I'm using this as my anchor here. And this cable is plenty long. I was thinking it might be too short. And then I got a chain around that tree, and I got like a hook clevis that's hooked into the snatch block there. Then that cable comes back, and I'm actually hooked on the drawbar of the tractor today just because of the cable, and it looks like that might work better, keeping the cable more horizontal with the ground here, closer to the ground. So I don't know if this is going to pull or not. I also put some weight in the front. When I was out here last time, I didn't get any video of it. I did have the front end off the ground, so I was getting some pretty good traction, but just not enough juice. So if this is double, so this should be technically like a, what, a 50 horse tractor then? I don't think it works that way, but we'll see. We'll try pulling it this way. If this doesn't work, we'll rehook and try a different way, and we'll just go from there. Okay, so what I did is I got a piece of chain wrapped around the 3-point hook. Pulling from the drawbar, I lose all my traction. I got no weight being pulled down on the back wheels, so we'll try it like this and see if we can get it to budge. If this doesn't work, I don't know, I think I'm out of options. I only have one snatch block. Alright, so I've had a couple attempts here different directions. If you see, there's been some movement, so I might be on the right track here. So I got the V here is really close, and I hooked back to this tree, and I'm on the other side, and there's some stuff there, so it should give me some pretty good traction. And again, I'm hitching it off of the 3-point, and the reason for that is so when it pulls, it's putting weight down on the back tires. If you pull from the drawbar, it's basically a 1-for-1. You're not gaining any advantage from hitching low. If you hitch high, you gain a little advantage of pulling. So we'll get the camera set up here. Hopefully we get this thing to slide. I think it's close, so we're on a good sign. The one thing I do know is when you work with these cables and stuff like this, obviously you want to have something laid over the top. I don't in this case, in case something snaps. We should be well below the limit of the cable. The other thing is when you cross a cable, you should always step on it with both feet. So put one foot on, then put the next foot on, so you have both feet on it and then go. And the reason for that is if for something gets tight or whatever, if you got both feet on, you should fly off. If you only have one foot on, there's a good chance you could get yourself split. So that was something they taught us in the Guard. So let's get the camera set up and see what we can do. Alright, so good deal. We got it. So I don't know if it was the fact that I changed the angle there and just got it a little bit closer. I get a lot more traction on this over here just because of all the branches and stuff that were down. Kind of ran out of room. I didn't think it was going to pull that easy. Then I was kind of pulling it to the side so it would kind of slide out from itself instead of trying to pull it straight back. I think that had something to do with it too. So I think all in all I had about 70 bucks in the Harbor Freight setup. I think the snatch block was like 30 and the cable must have been like 39 probably. Plus I had to buy a hook in those cable clamps. So now we can get to work on this. That's good. That was my plan, to at least get this down today. So we'll cut the large section here up into 10 foot. And we'll put that on the log pile. I'll have to pick up all the chains and everything, and then once we get there's probably 2 sections here, maybe 3, we'll get that pulled out, and then then we can pull the rest of it out hopefully. Alright, so if you're wondering what the D160 loader on this 3025E, what it'll lift, so this is I better back up, this is a 19-inch diameter, 10-foot oak log, fresh cut. You can probably see some pretty tight grain in there. So it definitely will pick it up. What I did there is I kind of flattened out the forks and tried to lift it up a little bit higher, and then it kind of stalled out. It didn't want to lift anymore. So it's pretty heavy. You can do the calculation. There's like different logs calculators out there. So if you got like a 10-footer, 19-inch round, and then if it's a hardwood, or might even have the type of wood, and this one is going to be oak, it'll give you a pretty close idea of what that weighs. So it lifts it up. I'm not going to say it manhandles it, but and there again too, it's good to have the ballast. And I know I've talked about this numerous times. Got 2 sets of wheel weights, the rim guard in the tires, and then the 8 suitcase weights, and I need to get another set of 8 70-pound. This doesn't seem too bad. You keep the load low to the ground. The tractor doesn't feel tippy or anything like that. If you have the thing up quite a bit higher, yeah, then I'd be a little nervous, because there's a lot of weight here. This is definitely a heavy piece here. So I'm gonna get this one hauled out. The other one I got cut up, so we'll pick that one up, and we'll throw it on a log pile. Alright, so I got my oak logs back on the front. There's some ballast for the front end. I got it chained up here. We're going to just try a 1-to-1 pull. It looks like it's broke off, so that should pull out of there. I would think once I lift the 3-point, that should lift up and we should be able to pull most of that out of there. Smaller stuff we're going to probably have to go in, get that out maybe later. So I was thinking about what I said about the 50 horse or whatever, doubling the horsepower. Even if it did do that, you still are losing all the weight of what a 50 horse tractor would have. So just the sheer weight of that tractor, it's going to have better traction. So, but I think we're onto something with those snatch blocks. And I want to say the guy I watched the most moving these rocks had and it was an off the wall kind of compact, small. I want to say smaller than this, but maybe the same horsepower. And he had numerous snatch blocks, but he was pulling like really big rocks. I mean, they were huge. I think he's out in like Virginia, maybe the hills of Virginia. I don't know. They're doing some like major amount of work. Him and his wife, like they got to put in a driveway, and there's rocks and trees, and those two are working really hard. So let's see if we can get this pulled out, and we'll go from there. All right, so it looks like that's going to be the last log. The rest of it's all going to be firewood. Down towards this end, it looks like it was kind of rotten, and there must have been a pretty big branch, and that just kind of broke off, so it kind of split the rest of the tree here the way it looks. So I'm not going to pull that out. I think I'm going to be done for the day, but I'm going to look at getting another one of those snatch blocks from Harbor Freight, I think, just in case I need a little bit more pulling power. Obviously, if there wasn't snow, you'd have a lot more traction, but I think that's just a good thing to have. It seems like it works pretty well. And you know, we got some pretty big trees left here, so if I come out here next weekend, I'm not sure, I'll probably start just doing some general cleanup stuff. I'm not going to drop anything. There's enough stuff that's been down, and some like brush and stuff out over in this area here that can get kind of picked up and stuff. So yeah, and over the week it was cold. One morning, I think it was Thursday morning, it was -10, so it was definitely cold out here. I let that Honda run for a good hour. It was about an hour and a half. The tractor fired right up, and with the hydraulic heater and the little space heater underneath, the thing warms up pretty quick. The hydraulics weren't slow or anything. So other than that, that's going to be it for now.